So how?
Well, I mean, yeah, it was kind of an interesting situation because it was also my dad would be on tour for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, sometimes a month, and sometimes I would go with him, rarely, but a lot of the time I wouldn't. So I wouldn't get to see him for a long period of time, and that was really tough when I was younger.
And how did you sort of adjust to that? Do you think it kind of gave you more sort of a confidence, and more like, did it shape you in a way that having that parent that wasn't there? Because my dad was a deep sea fisherman, and I think I
Oh gosh,
struggled with
yeah.
it when I was younger. Geez, I'm
Um,
Scottish through and through.
oh, fair, fair. I think it taught me, you know, in a certain level of independence. And I think that just comes with the circus upbringing, which is, I've always been very, very comfortable by myself on my own. People are always shocked to hear this, but I'm an introvert. I don't, most of the time when I finish a day of performing, I don't want to talk to anyone again for the rest of the day. Sometimes even in the middle of the day of performing, I'm like, no, do not talk to me. I am saving up my social battery to be on stage.
Is that because of what songs people are suggesting? Because you get some
Not
crackers.
usually. So I'm doing the Florida Renaissance Festival right now. I have to say, for the most part, aside from every show there's a Freebird request. For the most part, they've actually been really interesting and really unique. I've gotten a lot of songs that I have never gotten before in the last couple of weekends.
Because I love like the some of the TikToks where you get it's like sing, like the Latin version of the Final Fantasy game, and it's like
Yes.
Freebird request, and then it's all these kind of anime songs, and it's but how does one get in? Oh god, how does one? Honestly, I want to slap myself something. How how do you get into circus stuff? Because I'm assuming you would turn up and you would help out behind the scenes, and they would show you how to do something. Like how? What's the kind of entry for a young kid or somebody wanting to go into it? How do you start in the circus thing and sort of build your way up and create your own act and that sort of thing?
Yeah. So the process on that, I mean, it was a decade-long process. I learned how to crack a whip when I was 7, but I didn't start performing with whips when I started to get more serious about it when I was 17. Um, so the process for me, once I kind of started performing solo, and this was after doing high school theater, high school drama, just get yourself comfortable in front of a crowd. Um, the process then was to figure out what the show is, kind of learn the tricks, and just get comfortable telling jokes in front of a crowd. So what I did, starting very early in college, was I just went out and street performed,
Hmm.
which is it's a tough business. I'm still not a great street performer, but what's good about street performing is it gets you used to performing. It gets you used to performing in front of a tough crowd. And it helps kind of get rid of your fear of failure, because when you street perform, you're going to fail a lot. Not in terms of your trick is going to get messed up, but just in that you're going to have 5 people watching your show, and it's can you keep up the energy while you're doing that? And so for me, basically it was rehearsal. It was dress rehearsal for 2-3 years. And then once I had kind of gotten to the point where I felt pretty confident street performing, it was, can I move into these Renaissance festivals, which here in the US they're all around the country.